Okay, so it's Monday. It's May 1st, 9 o'clock. Early start for me. Getting out of the office for a Monday. But I have a lot of places I need to be this week, so didn't have as much administrative responsibility lingering from the weekend. I was able to catch up on all that and get moving here. So I didn't record it all last week. It seems like my life has been kind of in an upheaval the last 8 days. 9 days, I guess, because my kitchen has been in the process of being upgraded. So I bought this tile, this marble tile, to replace the kitchen countertops back in December when we bought the new stainless steel appliances, thinking we were going to upgrade the looks of the kitchen. It was kind of an investment because I was not sure if we were going to sell the house or refinance it or what. It was a good investment for us. And the tile that was on the kitchen countertops the edge pieces were falling off, and I was kind of patching them back in when needed. There was a couple of them that were cracked and coming loose, and I wanted a nicer looking tile anyway, but it was getting to the point where it needed to be ripped out and redone. So found that tile on sale when we got the appliances and thought it would match the appliances, so we bought it. It's been sitting in the garage. I've been procrastinating because I knew it was going to be a kind of a time-consuming project, and just wasn't ready to commit to that. But we've got guests coming in less than a month now, a couple weeks now, for routines, my normal weekend routines, that I felt like I was confined by. And I was just had one of those days where I just wanted to have a breakdown. Just didn't want to have to deal with those things that I deal with on a personal level on a daily basis. This obsessive compulsive nature that I have about some things. So I was really out of sorts by not having the ability to follow my routines to the week. But then on Saturday I was tired of being subject to any routines at all. I did not want to follow my routines. I didn't want to have to go to the grocery store. I knew we needed groceries, we needed stuff for the house, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go grocery shopping. What I really wanted was the kitchen to be done. So on Saturday I set that sink first thing and got it done, and we were talking about everything else in the kitchen because we decided that we were going to replace all the knobs, all the hardware, because they were black before and now we wanted them to be stainless steel to match everything else. And then when we did that, we started taking the doors off to start doing the painting. The hinges weren't going to match, so I had to go buy all new hinges, and I couldn't find any hinges that were the same as what were on there, so I'm going to have to lay out and drill and do all that for every cabinet door, mount new hinges and then mount the doors, and it's going to have to be from scratch. I mean, I'm not going to be able to use the layout that was already there, so it's more work for myself. And then we were talking about it, and neither one of us were happy with the backsplash that was there, and we had talked about the possibility of rolling over what was there, but we also talked about the possibility of putting something else over it, and decided we'd already put this much time and this much money into everything, so we were going to go ahead and take care of the backsplash, which was just more work for me. And when I had reset the sink, got it mounted and all hooked back up, I was looking forward to just getting the countertop grouted and being done with the counters. And now that I was going to be putting in the backsplash, I was like, I'm going to grout it all at the same time rather than mix up two batches and do it 2 different days. So we picked out a backsplash tile, which was a tile base with a stainless steel cap. So there are these kind of geometric shapes that have a pressed piece of stainless steel over the top. So it's like a piece of tile with this stainless steel over the top, which was a little bit more difficult to work with. And these unusual shapes, because they're kind of oval that come to squared off points on either end. They look really cool, but it was definitely more difficult to work with than standard square or rectangular tiles. And having to cut these and piece them in underneath the countertops and around all the outlets and switch boxes, it was frustrating. It was one of the most difficult things that I've done on any of these house projects so far. And when I got going on it, when I cut the first piece and put it up there and was like trying to figure out how I was going to continue to mark, measure, and cut these pieces and make all this work, I was feeling extremely discouraged and overwhelmed, and I wanted to quit. I just wanted to be done. I did finally on Saturday I said, fuck it, I need to get away from all this, and I cut the first couple of pieces to figure out, one, how I was going to cut them, what the best way to handle it was, what tool to use, and I got that all figured out and cut a couple of pieces to start the first row, and decided I'm going to the gun range. So feelings that I've ever had, and that carried through the entire day. Nothing felt good. And I got home, and it was nice that the sink was hooked up, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to make some dinner. I don't know what I want, but I just want something good. I'm just going to go to the store and get something, and I really wanted to indulge in some good beer or good wine and a good meal. And even though the kitchen was still out of sorts, we were able to work around the mess. And I went to the store and got a couple nice bone-in ribeyes and this wild mushroom mix, and some chopped shiitakes and zucchinis and whatever else was in there. And like, I'm going to make this mushroom gratin, and I'm going to have some asparagus, I'm going to have this ribeye and shrimp, and just going to have this really good meal. And I've been hooked on these sour beers for the past few months, but they're very difficult to find. And I checked a couple of places and found a couple at HEB, the store I normally go to. And I spent way more than I probably should have on beer, but at the time it was worth it. And again, honestly, I felt like there wasn't going to be a tomorrow. I felt like everything was over. I should just indulge in life right now and make the most of it. So I found 3 separate beers that I wanted to try. I found a 6-pack, which was $9, no big deal. It's on the high end of what I would normally pay for a 6-pack. And then I found a single bottle, an individual bottle, that was $14 for this sour tropical beer, which I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. And I found another one that was a bigger one. It was an import, $22. It was almost like a wine bottle, just a little bit smaller than a wine bottle. It was corked like a wine bottle. And I bought that one too. I was like, fuck it, I'm buying all of them. So I spent $100 on stuff to make dinner. On 2 bottles of beer, a 6-pack of beer, some steaks, some shrimp, some asparagus, mushrooms, and went home and decided I was just going to try and enjoy one of the simple things in life, a meal, which is the philosophy behind Sage Gourmand, which I had basically kind of just disregarded because I did not feel a connection to anything. I just have felt lost the whole last week. But being able to immerse myself in that meal preparation, including just going to the store, walking up and down the aisles and picking out what sounded good to me and creating a menu in my mind before I even got home, and then getting there, and even though the kitchen wasn't completely conducive to cooking because I had to hunt some things down, and finding the utensils and the tools and the pans and stuff that I needed because everything's been pulled out and put somewhere else. I was able to make it happen, and it was a fantastic meal. It was exactly what I needed, and I went to bed feeling much better than I had felt for some time. Looks like it still needs some work. So anyway, it was a good experience. It was a good meal. It was it really got me back into feeling positive about life. And but I did overindulge. I ate almost twice as much as I would normally eat, or what I've been normally eating. Although back in the day, I would still eat considerably more than that. But so I in true gourmand fashion, I overindulged. I drank more than I probably should have. I ate more than I probably should have, and I woke up feeling pretty shitty yesterday, but it was worth it. Had to take some ibuprofen because I had a splitting headache, and it was very difficult to make a decision on what to do with the rest of the day. We still needed to do some grocery shopping. We needed to get something to eat or make something to eat, and we wanted to make some more forward progress on the kitchen. And I was just looking at that backsplash tile the whole time through Saturday night and into Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon, thinking I do not want to do that. It's too much. It's more than I want to take on. And but I forced myself to. In late afternoon, I was like, I'm just gonna do it. I need to work on it. And I started cutting and laying out and measuring and placing, and I got about halfway through one wall and around the double outlet box that was there, which was going to be the most tricky part, and I got them all cut and laid out, and I was like, all right, I feel all right with this. I think I felt like I became more efficient at it. So I mixed up the mortar and I started setting all those, and then just started cutting and setting as I was going, and hoping that I would be able to get them all cut and set before the mortar dried up. And the more I put into it, the easier it became. The more pieces that I cut, the less I had to measure. I didn't have to second guessing. It became natural to me, so I was able to just eyeball it. I was able to see this, and then I was able to figure out a way to place and piece, and I got all these unusually shaped and cut pieces up in just over 2.5 hours. And the result is amazing. It's beautiful, and I really had a strong sense of satisfaction afterwards, standing there looking at that it was more work than I wanted to do, and again I was seeing this life lesson unfold in front of me. It was something that I identified that I thought I wanted, that I thought would look good, and I knew it was going to be difficult. It was going to be challenging. It exceeded what skill level I have. It's not something I've ever worked with before. I've done some backsplash tiling before, but nothing like this. And then working with this stainless steel wrap tile, again, a whole nother factor, something brand new that I've never done. So I took something that I wanted, identified what I wanted, identified what it was going to take to get that completed, to get that desire fulfilled. And even though I didn't want to put the effort forth that it was going to take, I did anyway, and I'm extremely pleased with the results, and I feel very satisfied with myself. Even this morning when I got up and looked at it, I'm like, I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I pushed my way through it. It's the first time that we've ever designed something, or that I've ever designed something from, conceptually, all right, well, this is what I'm thinking, and then you find the product, the pieces, the elements that actually fit your vision, and then follow through with manifesting it. And because I've always had to modify my idea, my vision, based on cost. I've never been able to fully embrace and attack a vision from what it was that I think I like. All right, well, this is what I want, this is what I like, and I want to do it. I always have to go, all right, well, I can't afford this, I can't afford this, so I'm going to have to get something that's close or find a substitute, and I didn't this time around. So even this faucet that we have, this kitchen sprayer faucet, is fantastic. And every time I look at it, I'm like, I'm glad I spent the money and got it, because when I was looking through and I found it, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I looked at the price and I was like, oh, I don't want to spend that much. Part of this process was eliminating those ideas, those mindsets that I can't afford it. So it's been years of slowly trimming away and working at eliminating that mindset that I can't afford to do that. I don't have the money to do that, or I don't want to spend the money to do that. And whether it's money or the work that's going to take, it's going to be easier to do this, it's going to be cheaper to do this. This is the first time from a creative standpoint that I have had an idea, had a vision of where I wanted to go, identified elements that I wanted to use along the way, and have used every element. I still have to lay out and reset all these hinges, but they're the hinges that I think are going to match. It's going to be a good complement to what's there. So this whole project is coming together, and it's coming together in every way that I could possibly want it to, and it's taken longer than I was hoping it would take. It's cost twice as much as I thought it was going to cost, but it's the heart of our home, and it's where I spend most of my time when I'm at home, and it's the cornerstone of this philosophy. It's the cornerstone of this pursuit that I have set out on with this Sage Gourmand, and finding a way to enhance your life, to make your life the most it can be, starting with how you fuel your body, and indulging in your meals. And it's good. I woke up this morning and I've had this renewed sense of life and vigor and passion, and the difference between where I am right now and where I was the day before yesterday is the difference between either side of the moon, the dark side and the light side. I mean, I was in complete and sheer utter darkness on Saturday, thinking that I would not live past that day, to today and seeing everything around me filled with hope and beauty, and it's exciting me. Part of me wishes I didn't have to go visit properties today and do the work that I'm supposed to be doing to earn the salary that I get. But part of me is like, I feel good about what I'm doing, so it's making that tolerable. I still haven't been able to focus as much time and energy on developing Sage Gourmand, on doing the website. I got my new computer last week, and I pulled it out Saturday afternoon while I was drinking my afternoon tea, trying to get a reboot just so that I could try and get a little bit familiar with it. So 10-15 minutes of just seeing how things work and what options I had and where I wanted to go with that. But I haven't been able to sit down and create my logo like I wanted to. I haven't been able to sit down and personalize this computer with all the software that I need to do what I'm going to be doing. I haven't been able to work on my website, but I will. I'm getting there, and I today, in the mood that I'm in, I see that everything in its time, everything as it's meant to be, and I feel good about it. So happy Monday.